Hello and welcome to Low Budget Gaming, and welcome to a quick look at some deals on GOG. As you know, GOG is DRM free for all their games. So if you're worried about losing your digital games or the licenses, you can buy your games here because you own them. You can download the installers directly to your PC and then play it offline. You can keep it on your PC and everything, and they also make sure everything is updated. So let's have a look at some games on sale. I've picked minimum 75% discount for all these games. So we start first with one of my favorites, Mad Max. So this is your standard open world game set in a Mad Max setting. You have a lot of customization with cars, a lot of hand-to-hand combat similar to the Batman Arkham games, but I found it to be more satisfying in this one. I have played and finished this game multiple times. I like it that much. And there's the car customization and the car combat was really fun. 75% off, $5. Next is Bullets Per Minute. So this is also 75% off, $5. This is a rhythm FPS game and my favorite of this style of game. So basically you can only shoot, reload and jump when you're in sync with the background music. So you have to be in sync, otherwise your gun doesn't fire. So that makes it more challenging and more interesting. It is a rogue like, I would say, because if you die you have to start all over again. Next is Drakensang. So this is another older RPG that I've heard of but never actually played, and it is on a great sale here, 80% off, only $2. So you can see here, role-playing adventure fantasy. Drakensang is a third-person party-based RPG based on the pen and paper role-play rules of the Dark Eye. Drakensang is the first PC game for over 10 years to be based on Germany's most successful and popular role-playing system. Graphically it looks okay. It's from the late 2000s, 2009 or something, so obviously it won't be as smooth looking as modern games, but it still doesn't look half bad if you want to try out a party-based RPG for not a lot of money. Next is Hitman Contracts. So another of my favorite series. The old Hitman games were very special to me. For this particular game, Contracts, I actually bought a new graphics card, and I bought this disc brand new from a supermarket. I remember many years ago, 20 years ago roughly now. And yeah, had a really great time. This was a very hyped game. The trailers for this game were also very impressive before it came out. So this is up 20 years ago, and yeah, this was a very satisfying game. This was a little different to the previous games. Basically, Hitman 47 gets shot or something at the start of the game, and a lot of the missions are him hallucinating and remembering his previous contracts, so which made it a little special. So this is only $179, 80% off. Next is a newer game from Paradox Interactive. This is Imperator Rome. So if you're a fan of the Crusader Kings 2 and those style of games, this was another one, and I don't think this did as well because it's a fairly recent game and it's already on an 80% sale. So it came out in 29. Well, it's already 4 years, 5 almost now. So yeah, for me it felt like it just came out the other day. But it is 80% off, $8. So if you like your big grand strategy games, check this out. Next is the Technomancer. So I have recently played this game early this year, I think in January, and I finished this game 25 hours roughly to finish the whole campaign. Most of the side quests were done, and I found it to be very interesting. Story wise was excellent. You're basically a technomancer, basically someone with some electrical powers within your body, and there are people based on Mars who have moved to Mars because Earth is no longer inhabitable, and a few hundred years have passed. So the society has been divided into like normal people, technomancers, some mutants and other people, and then you have to manage and balance all the factions and try to, you know, survive and stuff like that, and also mostly discover if you can get back in touch with Earth to find out if there's anything there, and also, you know, find out more about the technomancers and how they came to be. So overall very satisfying, and I made a review on the other channel as well. I called it the best $2 RPG, and yeah, it is $2 here, 80% off, and it's not an old game either. This is like a 2016 game, so graphically looks decent as well. Next is another big RPG fantasy. This is Dragon's Dogma Dark Arisen. I often mention this game because it is under $5 for an excellent game. The sequel is, I think, coming out next year. They showed some demo, gameplay trailer, etc. So if you wanted to try this one, DRM free, You can get it here for $79. Next is Deus Ex Human Revolution. So this time we have a cyberpunk RPG, and this was surprisingly fun. When I played this, I had no real idea what to expect, but I was very impressed. So you play as Adam Jensen, who is like a very augmented person. Basically, something happens at the start of the game, and so you see why he gets augmented, and he has an amazing level of augmentations in his body. Everything is augmented, and basically as you play the game, you can choose which augments to get to improve him further. And yeah, at the end, it's amazing what you can do. Also very flexible with the gameplay. You can go guns blazing like an action RPG, or you can be more subtle, talk your way out of things like that. Graphically still holds up from 2011. Initially when it came out, it had that yellow piss filter, if you remember, from the late 2000s, but then they had an updated version, like a ultimate version, where they added a DLC and improved the graphics and removed that filter. So overall, a very good game. So this is 85% off, only $3. Next is Venetica. So this is a bit of a surprise game, because early last year they gave this game away free on GOG, and I tried a bit of it. I played 10-12 hours of this, and I really liked it. So it's set in Venice in somewhere in the past. There's like a parallel world of dead people and real people, and you are, I forgot the name of the character because nobody took her name, like she was just going around something, Rose or something, Scarlet, and yeah, she can sort of talk to the dead and things like that. Very sort of small, low budget type of game, but also had its charm, and there were some very funny and interesting moments in this game. So it is on sale here. If you missed out the giveaway, only 99 cents. Next we have another cyberpunk themed FPS, and this is Hard Reset Redux, another game that I've seen quite a lot. I have, I think, both the versions. There are two versions. There's an extended version and a Redux version. I don't know like much about the differences. Have not really played it, so I can't really comment, but it is 90% off, $2. The reviews are generally very good. It's made by the same people who made the Shadow Warrior games, Flying Wild Hog. And then speaking of Flying Wild Hog and Shadow Warrior 2 is also on a great sale. This is 90% off, $399 for the deluxe version. So I don't know how good the third game is, because I saw some mixed reviews, but the first two games were excellent. Well, first two rebooted games, if that makes sense, because the original was, I think, from the late 80s or something, 90s probably, sorry. So yeah, very good game and very cheap. So yeah, that's a quick look at some 10 games or so on sale on GOG. All these games are on sale until the 13th of December, so you have plenty of time to pick these up. Anyway, thank you for watching, and see you next time.